Welcome to Virtually Unbreakable, where we inspire you to live happier and more fulfilling lives. My name is Ella, and I'm your host. Today, my guest is Bhavisha Pankania. Bhavisha is a yoga instructor and a breath coach. She is certified in Hatha Yoga, and her passion for yoga is in its strength, flexibility, breath awareness, and energy, and for the peace and tranquility that we are all seeking. Bhavisha teaches series of Hatha, Vinyasa flow, power, and prenatal yoga classes. And the topic of our conversation today is yoga and mental health. I'm pleased to have you here with me, so sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. Bhavisha, so nice to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. So, as a yoga instructor, this topic is probably something you've discussed millions of times with other people.
Yes.
So I really appreciate you having time to come on the show and talk to us about yoga. But what does yoga mean to you? Let's start with that.
Yoga means, to me, it means union, coming together, community, and just a space where you could find stillness, find peace, find tranquility, just like you mentioned, a space of calmness to me.
It's almost like a place to be yourself, right? And
100%.
rediscover that connection with yourself that so many of us are missing these days.
Yes.
Right. And I know, because I attend your yoga classes, so I know a little about you.
Yes.
But I know that you come from the family of yogis. So can you share with our viewers and our listeners, what was your journey to becoming a yoga instructor? What was was it inevitable for you?
No,
How come
absolutely
you made
not.
that decision?
Absolutely not. I absolutely fell into yoga practice. My auntie and my cousin started teaching it, and they would get the whole family together to teach. I come from a very big family. So all of our cousins, our parents, we would spend a Sunday together, connecting, practicing yoga, and just sharing the benefits of the practice. And
Wow.
it just evolved over time. I was in banking. I was an ex-banker, so I did banking for about 10 years.
And
Never,
did you just get tired of the
no, and just
world?
never thought I would move from a corporate environment to a completely different industry. And after my second daughter was born, I just felt like this is the path to go. This is the way I want to spend my days, my life. I want to be connecting with other people. I want to see other people grow. I want to have them allow me grow. So
Yeah.
it was just a natural path to continue. And I love it. My passion shows through my teaching. I love connecting with my students, as you know, and I'm fortunate to be able to do what I love every day. I'm fortunate.
It is a beautiful place in life when you can get there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And I agree with you that it's priceless if you can combine your passion and your job and make money. Like, there's no better way. You never feel like working, right?
Absolutely. We get drained. I feel like we get burned out a little bit because it's hard for us, because we want to be a part of someone's growth and a part of their journey. It's hard to say no, but I'm starting to slowly find boundaries, right? It's hard to, you want to be part of someone's journey fully. So
yeah, I get you. Yeah. So most of us are totally aware of the biggest benefits of yoga. Most of us who practice yoga, but there are so many people who still think that is a bit of, perhaps, not put it very nicely, an imaginary world where we suddenly become really relaxed. And the idea is to get relaxed. So I think there needs to be a little explanation here. Some explanation is required. So what would you say that what are the biggest 5 benefits of yoga that everybody should be aware of?
I personally, besides the physical benefits, I think the physical just comes. I personally think that breath work, We do not focus on breathing. I think breathing is essential, as you know, to life. It should be taught in schools. It should be taught everywhere. It should be fundamental to our growth. Correct breathing, breath work, just concentration, inner strength. We're working on our inner body rather than our outer body. When we have inner strength, it shows on the outside. Three, I would say mental focus. It allows us to focus better when we take a break from our busy lives and we come to our mat, or we come to a space where we are moving our bodies, we're practicing. It allows us to stop that mental chatter in the mind. It allows us to pause and focus on our body, our health, our wellness, how physically active we are. Four, physical strength, of course, getting a little bit more flexible. The flexibility has nothing to do with yoga. So when people say, oh, we'll get more flexible, yes, in time with practice, but that has nothing to do with yoga. And you'll see your practice evolve and change. Five, mental health. Everybody needs to focus on mental health. Even if you feel like you're the strongest person in the world, or if you feel like you don't need help with your mental health, I think we all struggle, and it's hard to admit that vulnerability. I think we all struggle with mental health, whether it's stress or our children or getting our to-do lists done. The practice allows us to be grounded. It allows us to come to a place where we can find tranquility, find stillness. When in our days do we get to be still? We're so busy. Everyone's busy doing what they love, what they're doing, what they have to do. But it gives us a chance to find calm, be still.
Yeah. You were getting to number 4, and then you're about to mention number 5. And I thought to myself, if she's not going to mention mental health, I'm going to mention it.
Oh, good.
So
Yeah.
Very good. I'm very glad you did, because I think that is one of the biggest, this podcast is about mental health, but this is, to me personally, one of the biggest benefits of yoga. And I totally think it should be one of the top 5. So let's stop for a second and talk about this mental health, because I feel like this is something many people are not aware of, and yet so many people can benefit from that.
Absolutely.
So like you've mentioned, tranquility, finding peace, and quieting that mind chatter. But let's just imagine for a second that one has 20 minutes at the beginning of their day, totally just doing yoga every day. I can promise you, whoever you are, whoever listens to this, it has transformed my life.
I absolutely agree. 100%.
I was one of the biggest control freaks, perfectionists, someone who needed to get everything right, someone who would get anxious over my day not going how I wanted to go, especially as a female entrepreneur and a busy mom and a busy wife, making sure all these areas of my life are under control. Yeah. It's easy to get lost, and it's easy to get anxious. And since I started doing yoga, 20 minutes, however time I've got in that, 15 minutes, half an hour, it's just about making it regular. One thing I want to share here is that what it gave me, it's clarity of mind. And to me, that is priceless, because so not only it improved my physical body, gave me inner strength, it also gave me ability to balance myself in my world. So, when something stressful happens, like I used to always react quite quickly. I think we all react. We all are like preconditioned to do that. Yeah. And something would happen and I would react. And now I feel like I've got composure, inner composure. I have clarity of thought. And practicing the yoga regularly, it's given me ability to control my reactions.
Absolutely.
And control my emotions, how I am expressing my emotions. And not only that, it's given me clarity of thought in terms of what my day should be about.
Absolutely.
So if you can match that, I'll give you an Oscar, because I tried many different things. I don't mean you. If one can match that with something else,
Absolutely.
I'll give them an Oscar, because I think this is like priceless.
I love it. I love your answer. I think you've really hit the nail. I think what you've accomplished in your own yoga practice, which I've seen, is just beautiful. I love that you love the practice. I love that you repeatedly come back to your mat. As much as I agree with everything you said, I think yoga gives you back time.
Yeah.
I think time is priceless. When I want to share my time with somebody, or if I want to do something with someone, I have to think, do I really want to spend my time with that person or that energy or that class or that group? I really choose my students, as well as my students choose me. I choose them. I choose the classes I teach for, the studios I teach for. I want to have that same energy back, because as well as it's your practice, I'm teaching, it's my time as well. But yoga gives you back time in the long run. That's how I feel. I feel like if you practice yoga, as much as you'll get stronger, you'll get more clarity, you'll feel more at peace, you'll have more fulfillment in life, more joy, and you'll just wake up every morning having that zest for life. Like, you want to accomplish everything and more. There's not enough hours in the day to get things done, because you're enjoying your life. That's how it should be.
But I think, totally. But I think for me, the power that, like, the silent power of practicing yoga regularly is that when you start your day with it, it grounds you for the day.
Yeah.
So it gives you that feeling of grounding and that stability and that balance. And when you start your day from that space, you make more conscious decisions in
Absolutely.
your private life and in your
Absolutely.
professional life. And actually, I would go as far as saying you are less likely going to make mistakes.
Absolutely. Even if you can't get as far as your practice, my recommendation would be to wake up and just focus a few minutes on breath work. Just focus on your breathing before you even do anything, before you pick up your phone, before you start scrolling, before you start, getting up for your cup of tea. I say, take a few minutes. Everyone has a few minutes in their day to focus on breathing. Breathing is a part of your yoga practice. It is essential to your practice. We don't think of yoga as just these amazing postures. Yes, they build strength, but you cannot practice yoga without the breath. So if you start your day with just a few simple moments of breathing, yes, if you have time to practice, move your body for sure, but breathe. That's it.
Yeah. And I just want to say something else. Thank you, Bhavisha. I want to say something else to those of you who perhaps usually use the excuse of, I don't have time to do it, or I don't have a class near me, or I can't afford it. So I am someone who actually attends a class with Bhavisha once a week. And the other days in the week, I grab a mat and I do it in my living room.
Beautiful. Perfect.
And
Perfect.
I choose the time of the day when my son is either out of the house or at school, or outside in the park, or is still asleep.
Yeah.
And I just put a really relaxing soundtrack in the background. Perfect. And put my yoga outfit on, and it gets me in the space of mind, in the same space of mind I am in that normal yoga class. Perfect. But it's the regularity of it that will make the whole difference. So if you started practicing yoga and you don't see the benefits straight away, keep doing it, because the benefits will come. We guarantee you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. 100%.
Great. And so going back to mental health, just very, very briefly, one more time. So considering how anxious we all are, how most of us struggle with managing stress, whether we are parents or not parents, can you think of anything else other than the breath and other than the being still and being mindful, that in what other ways yoga benefits our mental health or perhaps our relationships? Can you think of any examples?
Besides the breath, I feel, and I feel like if you move on your mat, if you feel like you can move your body with fluidity, not so rigid, I feel like if you can move your body, however, it doesn't have to be any fun, cool shapes. It just has to be movement. I feel like you will feel better. It's just like someone saying, take a break from your day and go for a walk for 10 minutes. When you come back from that walk, you're going to feel so much better than just sitting on your couch and or plowing through your workday when your body needs a break.
Yeah.
So I say roll your mat out and move. Doesn't have to look perfect. You just got to move your body, right? They can be simple postures, right?
I actually just thought of something as you were talking. Thank you for sharing that point. Because we forget, actually, most of us forget that loads of our anxiety and stress is trapped inside our bodies.
It is,
So,
absolutely.
and we don't know about it normally, but some of us are more aware that we might get a stiff neck, or stiff shoulders, or a back pain, or a hip pain. And this is, some of it might be some genetic conditions or some physical illness, but loads of it is our daily stress build up inside our body.
Yeah.
Guess what? That needs to come out.
Absolutely.
So when we move, we connect to our heart, not to our mind.
Absolutely.
Right? So the reason yoga is so good for mental health is because it puts your mind to rest.
Absolutely.
So you stop overthinking, you stop analyzing, you stop stressing, you stop talking and thinking about your relationships.
Yeah.
You don't obsess over your children or your job. You are connecting with your heart. And by connecting with your heart, you're connecting with a part of yourself that is actually responsible for living your life to your full potential.
Absolutely.
It's your soul, it's your spirit you're connecting with. So you think about it this way, that by practicing yoga, you are actually making it easier for yourself to live the life long term you really want to live. Because by becoming still and relaxed, you will be able to connect with your dreams and with your heart desires. Absolutely. And I know that because that's the difference yoga did for me. Brilliant. So I hope we've covered it all, I think.
We have. That was brilliant. We've done great.
Thank you so much, Bhavisha. Well, we talk a lot about young people these days as well. Maybe we can just mention, do you have any experience teaching yoga to children, or you are a mom of 2 little girls? Do you want them to practice yoga? Do they practice yoga every day?
I definitely practice. I want them to practice yoga. I don't push them, but they do see me. They're a part of their environment. They see me doing it. It benefits me. They'll roll their mats out and they'll start copying, right? Which is wonderful. I love that they do it on their own. I will never push them, but I do teach young children in schools. So when I teach these young children in schools, it's fascinating to see how much they need it, how much they need the quiet, how much they need the stillness, how much they need to focus on breathing and the movement and the posture and what it does for their bodies, right? I feel like they don't get enough physical education in their PE departments where they're running or doing rugby, or it's a very different kind of stimulation than the mental aspect of yoga. And I'm very fortunate to be able to work in schools, and I hope I do get to change their young minds, and I hope they do see it as a benefit as they get older and older and older. So yeah, I'm lucky that I do get to teach them.
And hopefully they will learn in time, I'm sure they will, that by physical movement and connecting with yourself through yoga, you will be able to better express your emotions.
Absolutely.
Well. Because young people are all about finding their own authentic style. They're all about becoming independent and individual. They're building their identity as they grow up. And they take those different trends from their environment, from their friends, from their colleagues, from their cousins. And they are so often also really lost in life because they are so susceptible to trends around them, and they don't have their own, their inner voice, they don't have control over their inner voice yet. hopefully they will learn that through yoga, they can find that expression without
Absolutely.
judgment, right?
Absolutely.
That is
Yeah.
very, very valuable.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah, Bhavisha, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, you're so welcome.
If anybody wants to connect with you, where is the best place to find you?
My social media is probably the best place. Bhavisha Yoga.
Right. Well, I'll be sure to include the link to your Instagram account and your LinkedIn profile in the show notes. And thank you so much for joining today.
Thank
I
you
wish
for
you
having me.
all the best.
Thank you too. Thank you. Start yoga. Start it. Start it.
Exactly. Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you.